going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You know who it is by now,
Jimothy.
so I thought I would record this introduction separate from the actual test hands, mainly because it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that. I don't know, it's late anyway, and I should be in bed, but I thought I would do some test hands. I don't know why, but anyway, I've recorded this in 2 different parts, so excuse the changes in rarity of cards if you do see some. I think the Shinobi Necro was like a common, and then I managed to pick up a super. It came in the mail. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, ladies and gents. Don't forget to subscribe if you do enjoy, and let's just get straight into it. Okay, ladies and gents, we are here for some just regular test hands, not no board breaker test hands. And we're going to assume that our opponent's got no hand traps, just to see where we can go with the deck, because like I said, I went to locals, I took this deck, I didn't be taking away recording equipment, hence why you didn't see anything on the channel, unfortunately. But I did make a few misplays playing the deck, and I didn't end on any kind of optimal boards, mainly because there were so many options that I could have went for, and I just decided to go for the wrong one each and every time. So this is a little bit more of a learning curve for me. Like I said, I haven't practiced as much as I would like to have, but these test hands are a way of getting there. So I think we shuffled up enough. Let's see what we get going first off the rip. So starting us off, we got 1 P.U.N.K Jam Extreme Chesson, nice. 1 Sharakusai, beautiful. 1 DD Crow, nice to your hand trap. 1 Shinobi Necro, didn't really want to see that. And 1 Xiamin, which is not too bad. So at least we've got a discard for our Shinobi Necro. So starting us off, we're going to activate Jam Session. I'll put it here so you guys can see. We're going to activate the 1 Jam Session, and then we're going to go ahead and normal summon our Xiamin. Activate Xiamin's effect to be able to go and search us a Foxy Tune in most instances, because we do want the special summon from deck. We have got Sharakusai in hand, which means we'll be able to do a few other interesting things, to say the least. So we're going to activate Foxy Tune's effect to be able to special summon this Shinobi Necro. In fact, do we want Shinobi Necro? Oh, sorry, on resolution, Jam Session will get to draw a card. We draw into another DD Crow, which is fine. We'll keep a hold of that just in case we got any pesky Telements players. Alright, so in this instance, I'm probably going to activate Foxy Tune to pitch itself and Shinobi Necro to be able to special summon from our deck. Now, I think the best thing to do here is to go into Ruler. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So we'll search out our Dino to be able to special summon it. That's going to hit the field. Shuffle up there, because we actually are going to go into our Chaos Ruler. So just the usual P.U.N.K plays, sync off the Xiamin as well as the Dino to be able to go into our Chaos Ruler, and then we're going to obviously organize our chain link. So we're going to go Chaos Ruler chain link 1, and then our Dino chain link 2. So in this instance, we still got Sharakusai in hand. I'm actually a little bit more inclined to special summon the Xiamin. The reason I'm doing this is because Xiamin can hit the board, and then our Dino could potentially be a little bit of fodder to be able to special summon our Sharakusai and get us another draw. So let's see if we get off the Chaos Ruler. So we hit 1, we've got a Ghost Ogre, Nishori Surprise, Ash Blossom, another Foxy Tune, as well as the Gamma. Now this is where it's interesting, ladies and gents, because I was actually thinking of putting Lambda in the extra deck, and I'm thinking I'm probably going to do that, especially with how sometimes your hands can potentially end up. So in this instance, there's no point in me taking a Gamma, because I don't have Lambda in the extra deck as it stands, and I only run 2 Foxy Tunes at the moment. I do have another one on the way, so in this instance, I'm probably going to take the Foxy Tune for a little bit of follow-up, and I'll mill the rest, which is fine. So in this instance, we could actually use our field spell here, but what do we want to go into realistically? So we could activate our Jam Session to be able to banish a Dear Note from Grave to be able to special summon out our Sharakusai. Or do we really want our Sharakusai? Actually, no. What we're gonna do is go into Hulk. So we'll link those two off. Go into Hulk Fibrax because we do have the fodder engraved to be able to bring back the Shinobi Necro as well as the Chaos Ruler. So Hulk seems to be the most optimal play here. So we'll go into Christian Hulk Fibrax and then we'll go and summon out our other Sharakusai. Oops, that's not Sharakusai, that's Ziamin. Apologies. This is the reason why I play 2 Sharakusai, ladies and gents. I do like the quick sync effect, to be honest, which I might actually be able to pull off here. So we'll go into the Sharakusai. And the reason I've done this is because Hulk does negate its effect, but it's only till the end of this turn, so potentially we could still activate this. So next I would actually activate Chaos Ruler's effect in Graveyard, banishing for 1 the Shinobi Necro as a dark target, as well as the Psyframe Gear Gamma, because it's not really going to serve much of a purpose in the grave. So I'll banish these 2. So those 2 are now gone. To be able to special summon the Chaos Ruler. And then in that instance, our Shinobi Necro is going to trigger to be able to special summon himself. We'll sync those 2 off for our... Those both get banished when they leave the field. We'll go into our Baron de Fleur. And then we will use our field spell to banish our... What do we need to get rid of? What's probably the most least impactful? Probably the Ziamin. We don't really stick the need. We've got 2 more in deck. So we'll banish the Ziamin to be able to special summon the Foxitude. And that's our end board, ladies and gents. Now, obviously, it's not looking the most intimidating at the moment, but just from what I can see here, we could potentially do a couple of things. So on our opponent's turn, we've got Christian Hulk Fibrax to tag out into our Formula Sync 1 to get us a draw. And then we've got the Sharakusai effect to be able to quick synchro, and then we can use our Pump Jam Extreme Session to be able to chain block our Amazing Dragon when it hits the field. And I'm thinking about it now, I probably shouldn't have banished the Ziamin, mainly because the Amazing Dragon allows you to bounce monsters equal to the number of Psychic level 3 tuners in the graveyard with different names. So I'm probably only going to be able to bounce 1 card. So in this instance, maybe I should have banished the Dear Note. In fact, not the Dear Note, the Foxitude. So in that instance, when I do quick synchro on my opponent's turn, I'll synchro with these 2 and go into my Amazing Dragon. I'll be able to bounce 2 cards. That's any cards, monsters, spells, traps, whatever you want it. And then I've got 2 DD Crows in hand, as well as the draw off the Jam Sessions, which would gonna be a Emergency Teleport for follow-up. So all in all, not too bad. Now, this is what I was not ending on in my turn when I was at the locals. I was doing so many random plays, but this seems to be the most optimal. So we'll do one more test hand to see how we end up, ladies and gents. So let me just reset. Okay, ladies and gents, we are here with our penultimate test hand. You know how it goes. We're going to assume our opponent has no hand traps, just because we want to see where we can go with this deck, which is the whole point of me doing these test hands. And it's a little bit difficult to do test hands in a vacuum, mainly because you're always dealing with interaction, and it can sometimes stump you if you're mid-combo and you get stunned by like a hand trap or something like that. But nevertheless, it's always good practice to be able to kind of like just do these combos autonomously and not be hindered with thinking about, oh, should I do this, should I do that? So test hands always serve as a good purpose, a good way to practice. So we have shuffled up. Let's cut the deck. All right, let's see what we get. So 1 Ash Blossom, which is not going to serve a lot. 1 Effect Veiler, which is also not going to serve a lot. 1 Italy, that means we've got at least access to our own engine. 1 Sharakusai, we've got a normal summon, and 1 DD Crow. So 3 hand traps, which is not too bad. One of them is definitely going to get pitched. So starting us off, we're obviously going to activate our emergency teleport to be able to grab ourselves a Xiaomin. Now it's always good not to start off with your normal summon. You can do a whole host of plays before you actually have to do something, but we're not going to get access to our field spell if depending on how this hand plays out. So start with our Xiaomin. We'll activate Xiaomin's effect to be able to grab us a P.U.N.K. Now there's a few ways that we could do this. We could actually go into our Rising Carp here and then via Sharakusai's effect, but we'll see how this plays out because we could actually, we do want to use our ruler. Alright, so we'll activate our P.U.N.K. and we'll get rid of the DD Crow to special summon from deck our demo. So thinking here. See, the question is, do we go Chaos Roulette or do we go for the, we'll go for the Chaos Roulette. Just because our hand isn't the best and we want to see what we can mill. We might potentially hit a Gizmic Orochi, which I do need to bump up to 2. So we'll go Chaos Roulette and we'll go the same chain link as previous, well, same chain link as everybody knows. We'll go chain link 1 and Chaos Roulette, chain link 2 Dino, and we're going to actually target the Xiaomin just because we might be able to do a Synchro 11 play or actually go into Hauki Firebrax. So we revive the Xiaomin and then we shall mill. There's our Wagon, Snow Rabbit, Dino. Ooh, we had Charm Session as well. So we're gonna have to take the Ghost Ogre here, which is not bad. 3 hand traps, which is not terrible. All right, so our Wagon's gone, which is a hell of a shame because we can't actually, if we use our Sharakusai to fuse, actually we could get 2 10s on board. All right, so we'll normal summon our Sharakusai and then we'll link these 2 off to be able to go into Christian Hauki Firebrax. And this is what I'm saying about the deck, ladies and gents. You can take so many different angles. So we'll go into our Hauki Firebrax. Hauki Firebrax, oops, almost damaged my extra there then. Hauki Firebrax activate his effect to be able to special summon from the deck our Shinobi Necro, which is actually a bit of a beautiful interaction because we'll fuse off our Shinobi Necro as well as our Chaos Ruler to go into our first Synchro, which is going to act as our first negate, which is our Baron de Fleur. Then in Grave we can use our Chaos Ruler's effect, banishing the Shinobi Necro, as well as, have we got anything else that's not as useful? Nope. We're gonna have to banish our P.U.N.K. to be able to special summon it, and then new chain our Shinobi Necro will summon, and then we'll synchro these 2 off. They'll get banished when I leave the field into a Shen Ying. And that is probably where we'll leave it, ladies and gents. Now, it doesn't look like the most intimidating of board, but I do have 3 hand traps which are highly impactful, especially with the amount of negations and interaction on my board. So again, we've got a P.U.N.K Firebrax to banish itself, which can trigger Chen Ying, get a draw off our Formula Synchron on our opponent's turn, and we've also got a hard negating Baron de Fleur, as well as a Ghost Ogre, an Ash Blossom, and an Effect Veiler. So although it looks a little bit minimalistic, it's still quite an impactful board, especially if you're playing under something like a Dark Ruler normal or something like that. You still got 3 hand traps to be able to do stuff with, so that is something that I really like about this deck, and it just showcases where you can go with it. But we find ourselves at the end of another video. As always, ladies and gents, if you did like this content, you know what to do by now. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, all of that beautiful good stuff. And if you think there's some things that I should have done differently in this test hands, definitely get at me in that comment section below, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace.